Alright, I'm going to be making it very soon. I'm going to be using my Cricut Maker. I'm making care cards for my embroidered shirts and screen printed shirts. I'm going to be using the embossing tool to put down foil, the pen tool, and the cutting tool to make a t-shirt shape. So give me 1 second and we'll get to it. Right now the software is making the model. Choosing my cardstock. I already got the embossing tool in and the pen. Now I'm loading it up. And we're gonna start. So right now it's writing out all the information that's going to be on the card. So it's going to use the pen tool first, and then we're going to switch to the foil tool, which is going to lay down the foil for the other designs, and then it'll cut the outline for the card. So while this is cutting, you can watch it cut, and I'm going to go and cut the pieces of the foil so I can lay it down when we get to that point. So when you make these, you got to be careful what font you use. You don't want to use the cutting font. There actually is writing fonts, and they come out a lot cleaner. The cutting fonts almost come out like an outline. There's no fill in the letters. And again, these are for like t-shirt care cards or care cards for stuff that I screen print and stuff that I embroider. So there's actually two different ones on the left. There's the one for the embroidery. On the right is the one for the screen print. So each order will get a care card so everybody knows how to take care of the items that they get. If you have any questions, just leave them down in a comment and I'll answer them. Later tonight, I might be doing a video of doing an embroidery, so we'll get to have some fun with that as well. And I'm doing these videos now on my main page, but soon I'm going to only be posting these videos on my business page. So if you don't follow me, go to my page, Beard Adventure Threads, and follow me there because I'll be doing all the videos and little tutorials on how to use the embroidery machine, how to use the Cricut Maker, and how to screen print. That's all going to be in my actual page. The hardest part of doing these is the foil, getting the foil to tape it down on the paper. And one, not ripping the paper when you pull the tape off, and 2, to keep the foil still so as it embosses onto the foil, it doesn't wrinkle the foil and cause it to not transfer well to the cardstock. The cardstock that I'm using is a 65-pound cardstock. Ideally, I'm going to try the 110 and see how that is, because in my opinion at least, I feel like the 65-pound is just too thin. But I'm going to use it for now since I have it, and I'd rather not waste it. It does take a little time to do these cards, but at the end of the day, it's well worth it because I can make as little as I want instead of making a big purchase for a lot, because as a small business, it's hard to be able to purchase all the things you need in bulk amounts to get it at the right price. So the things you can make or figure out how to make always are like the best thing to do, because you're going to save a lot of money in doing so. Even as far as figuring out how to use Illustrator, Photoshop, the design space for your cutter, that is so important because you're going to be able to save a lot of money on buying designs, on having other people do work for you. If you are watching, just throw something up in the chat so I know who you are, so I can see who everybody is. And like I said, I'm going to try to bring you through the process from start to finish. So here I'm making six cards total. The first 2 with the pen tool is done. It's on the second 2 for the pen tool. Then it'll do the last 2. And then after that, we'll go into the foil transfer, where it'll push the mat back out so I could tape the foil down. And then I hit the button again, and then it'll start doing the foil transfer. And then when that's done, I got to take the excess foil off, and then I'll switch the tool from the embossing tool down to the cutting tool, and it'll cut out the shape after. If anybody has anything that they think would work pretty cool for this kind of thing, drop it in the comments. Maybe I'll try it out, see how it works. And this is basically what we're making. I'm making these right here. If you have any questions on how I did this, or if you're interested of the file itself, just leave me a comment, PM me. Now it's on to the third set. So the next step is actually the hardest step, is actually taping down the foil to stay nice and tight and on the mat, because from what I've tried a few times, you can't release the mat out of the machine because then it's going to start all over again. Made that mistake already. I put a link to my page in the comments so everybody can go and follow my business page, Bearded Adventure Threads, where I'll be posting the rest of my videos. Tonight I'm going to be embroidering onto a piece of fabric. So I'm going to post the machine in use so everybody can see that I actually do it. I do not source out my embroidery work. I do have the equipment, and I do it in-house. We're getting down to the wire where we'll be putting the foil on soon. Alrighty, it's just about done with this part. Alright, so that part is done. Now I'm going to be taping the foil on and we'll move forward. Now this is the hardest part because the foil has to stay pretty tight on here. And I don't really have any marks on say where exactly everything is. So I cut a piece a little bigger than I need so I have some room for error. And I just take some regular tape and I tape it down onto it. So nothing fancy. Not at all. I mean, this is the part you could probably mess up the most. Just for the fact is the placement of the tape. Just to get it to stay pretty tight is a difficult part. So I'm just trying to get this foil on here. Now there's, like I said, there's 6 pieces. So I'm going to be doing 6 foils. It's a bit tedious, but it's not too bad. Actually comes out pretty cool. Can't complain. You just gotta watch, like I said, you gotta take the tape off and everything very carefully when you do so. And yes, the foil tool was an additional tool you have to buy for your Cricut. Don't matter if you have the mate. I'm not sure if you can use it on the Explorer Air. Not sure. If anybody knows, drop it. Alright, so I got the 2 top ones to do. Now these can be the hardest because you gotta tape it without you gotta watch those rollers. But like I said, they come out pretty cool, so sometimes it's worth it. Hope that doesn't cause issues. So you need a really small piece for that top. Alright, we're just about there. And we're on to the next step. No. See, I wrinkled it. Let me get that side. All right, let's give it a shot. Now the embossing tool is putting down the foil. Now after this, all we have left is to switch out the foil tool for the cutting tool, and it'll cut out the little t-shirt shape for the cards. Now the first 2 are done, now it's going to do the second 2. Now you can see why it's so important to tape down the foil so well, because the way that the tool works, it kind of like drags along, and since you're doing it onto the paper, you don't have the stickiness of your mat to hold anything down. And this is the light grip mat I'm using for the cardstock. Now you can see I missed the tape right in between these two. So let's see how it comes out. You can see it pulling up. Yep, look at the drag. Now that one's gonna mess up right there because I didn't tape it. Little mistakes. Things happen. Now we'll take it off, see how they look, see how bad the bottom one messed up, and then switch out my tool. Like I said, you gotta take the tape off real careful so you don't pull the paper. Yeah, and the bottom one's the right side of the left one, and the left side of the right one got messed up. So I don't really care about them, so I pulled the paper up a little. These up here I'm going to be a little more careful with because I believe these came out pretty good. Might work better if I use masking tape. I think I'm going to try that next. I use masking tape for almost everything. Screen printing, embroidery. Yeah, this tape sucks. Let me get something here. Yeah, see? For me picking at it. Alright, so that's that. We got a couple that messed up, but it's part of it. Let's switch out the tool. And let it finish up. And there it is. So let me pull one up to show you. Kind of like weeding your vinyl. Alright, so there it is. That's what we spent this video to make. Thank you for watching. Like I said, I'm going to be doing an embroidery video tonight. I just got to clean this up and then I got to get things loaded into the machine. And if you do want to watch that, I left the link in this video to my business page, Bearded Venture Threads. And just head over there, like the page, and we'll see you there. Thank you.